When fear is there, it's not time to speed up and push. It's time to chill and listen. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life, both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. Okay, ladies, I'm back. Oh, I'm out of breath. This is the second time I've tried to record this podcast. First time, UPS showed up at my door and my dog lost his frickin' mind. So I am going to talk about fear and what it's trying to tell you. And the interesting part about fear and what it's trying to tell you is we're not listening. So hopefully you're listening to this podcast, and I want you to think about your life and how it shows up for you. Fear is something we all experience. It's the fight or flight. It is literally bred inside of us to keep us safe, because then we would all be running in the middle of traffic. So it's actually there to make sure that we have our survival instincts intact. But we're also wildly intelligent beings and very stupid at the same time. Because fear is false evidence appearing real. And this false evidence will show you that you cannot do something. So the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of imperfection, the fear of judgment, so many fears, right? But here's the thing. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've accomplished, we all experience fear. I hear women all the time. They ask me, how do I get my children to calm down when they're scared? And the reason why people ask me that question is because they're scared. They don't want their children to experience fear. They don't know what to do because they feel out of control. The fear of, oh my gosh, I'm screwing up my child. Oh my goodness, I fucked this up. This is my fault. But the truth is, it's a human emotion, and it's something we're all going to experience. All children do. Gosh, I'm pretty sure the reason why babies scream through the night is because they are terrified of like, what the fuck? Why did I come into this life? Why did I choose this body right now? What did I do? It was so much cozier in the womb. Who knows? That's just a theory. Or when I'm talking to women, and they decide that enough is enough, and they've taken their own action to take ownership and responsibility for the life that they want, what do? They decide to work with me. And one of the first thing is, I'm scared, Heather. First thing they say to me, I'm scared. What if I fail? What if I don't see results? What if I don't have the money? What if my husband doesn't support me? What if? And I ask them, is it true? Is it true that you're going to fail? Is it true you're not going to have the money? Is it true that shit is going to fall apart? I don't know. It's just your primal brain trying to keep you safe. And then when you choose to stay in the same pattern, nothing changes. But somehow you convince yourself that things are changing because you filled out an application or you got on the phone, but you didn't actually say yes to anything. You didn't do the work. You stopped right before the magic happened. Hey, I know it's annoying when people interrupt their podcasts with an advertisement midway through, but I'm doing it for good reason. I'm curious. Are you ready to discover what your life would look like if failure and fear didn't exist? Understanding how to co-create with these uncomfortable emotions has transformed how I show up as a mother, a wife, a friend, a business owner, and a human being. Working as much or as little as I desire. Living with a whole heart. Healthier than I've ever been while being more present with my children and not missing out on their childhoods. And I want you to experience this too, which is why I created Alive. It's an intimate experience for high-achieving women who want to attract more time, money, and energy in their lives without the exhausting hustle or overwhelm. If 2020 includes getting uncomfortable and up-leveling your personal development and professional game, come join us. February 6th and 7th in Detroit, Michigan for this unique experience. And when you register on or before December 24th, you will gain access to a 2-hour online workshop. It's live. I'm going to show you the step-by-step strategy and show you how to find the time for you and still accomplish everything you want this year. For details on this bonus, travel, accommodations, and details of the day of the event, check out heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive. And if you have a personal question before registering, just simply fill out the contact form on that page. How would you show up differently, both personally and professionally, if you decided that success and feeling good on your own terms was the only option? Think about it. The choice is yours. I look forward to meeting you. heatherchauvin.com/alive. I have multiple moments and stories that I could tell you. I have 3 boys. They're 14, 10, and 7. And my 10-year-old is very type A. He has some sensory processing stuff. He does not do well with transition. He does not do well with unpredictability. He does not do well with my adventurous spirit. He does not do well with, hey, get in the car. We're going to go for a road trip today. He doesn't do well when I veer off the path. He does not do well when I say something's going to happen at 2 o'clock and it's 2:15 and we haven't left yet. He needs to be on it all the time. So he gets afraid. And in those moments, I used to be so triggered as a mother when I did not understand fear, because I didn't understand my own fear and how it manifested in my own life. So now when I see my son freaking the fuck out in the car because he doesn't know where he's going, even though I can tell him we're going somewhere, when it feels unpredictable to him, he gets scared. And so now I just allow him to experience his fear. It's okay, buddy. You're allowed to be scared. You're allowed to feel human. Feel it fully. But old me, what I wanted to do was protect him. Take the fear away. But the truth is you can't. It's almost like it's contagious. So when he was afraid, I became afraid. And nobody felt calm and peaceful. It just multiplied itself. So instead, I had to look at myself and become the teacher. I had to become the coach. And so when I understand how fear was manifesting in my life, I realized I was holding myself back from a lot because I didn't know how to be uncomfortable and sit with fear. So another quick story I want to tell you is, and you've probably heard me talk about this before. I'm coming up on the 6 years of the day I was diagnosed with cancer. And that whole journey itself was a terrifying experience up until a certain point, and I will be talking about that in the book that I'm writing. But I remember having this moment, and you've probably heard me talk about this, maybe not. I feel like I talk about it all the time, on the bathroom floor. I completely surrendered. I came back. I would spend a week or two in the hospital at a time. Wouldn't be able to see my family, or if they did, they'd come in a little bit. But I was so sick. I'd be there for treatment, and then they'd have to make sure that all my organs were running because, I was a disaster. So it was just like a complete surrender process, like surrender. Like I just had to, if you've ever gone swimming, if you've ever been in the ocean, if you've ever tried surfing and a wave takes over you, what they say is just surrender. Like let it go. The most beautiful place is at the bottom of the ocean. And because you can't, like the power of the water is just going to plow you down. So just go with it, right? Try to protect yourself, put your arms up, put them over your face so you don't bash your face off a rock, but just try to protect yourself. And that's what I did in the hospital. But I remember coming home one time, and I would come home for about 3 or 4 days in between these 2-week stints. And I was terrified. Like fear was consuming my whole body, my mind, my soul, everything. And the voice in my head was like, you're going to die, you're going to die. Like that was how present fear was for me. My thoughts, my feelings, my physical reactions, you're going to die, you're going to die. My brain was racing, and I couldn't sleep. So it was like 2:00 in the morning, everybody in the house is sleeping. I go in the bathroom, go to the washroom, and I break down on the bathroom floor. And I'm lying in fetal position and I'm crying, but I'm crying internally because I didn't want to say it outwardly, right? I didn't want anybody to hear me. I didn't want to wake up, didn't want to inconvenience my family because I was so afraid. My biggest fear was coming to life. You're going to die, Heather. You're going to die. And so when I tell you that fear is attempting to get your attention, and when you feel fear, and there goes my dog losing his mind again. When you feel fear, it is not time to speed up or push. It is time to chill and listen. So in that moment, I had nothing. It was so loud. I had no other alternative but to stop and listen. And this is what it said to me. I got really quiet on that bathroom floor. I said, I'm going to die. And I was crying and I was holding it in because I wasn't doing the outward sob. And I just remember inhaling and exhaling and going, okay, I'm going to die. And then this little voice, this knowing, it was almost like I was in a meditative state, said, Heather, you're not afraid of dying. You are afraid of not knowing how to feel alive. And because I got quiet, it was that tiny little breadcrumb that I needed to take my next action step. So then I asked myself, well, how do I feel alive? And so the next day I was like, okay, how do I feel alive? What do I need? What do I need to do? And it was time that I implemented everything, all the work that I was fucking doing, all of the books that I read, all of the information that I absorbed but didn't implement. I started to embody it. So fear is there to get your attention. So when you are afraid, stop projecting on the outside, like my son, going, I hate you, you're so mean, you're such a mean mom. Look at you, making my life miserable because you didn't follow the yellow brick road. He's just projecting his anger on the outside. And it's okay, he's 10 years old, he's not going to learn how to go inwards. That's my fucking job to teach him how to do that because I need to do it myself. So listen. Sit with your fear today. What's your biggest fear? What's one little fear that you have? If you don't look at it and sit, write it out, go for a walk, think about it, put your phone away, think about it. What is it saying to you? It will not stop. It's not going to go away until you listen. Are you listening? According to a study published on Fast Company, conducted at the University of Kansas, women are burning out at an alarming rate, even before having children. And that number rises with the additional responsibility of raising a family. And the gap between ambition and putting themselves in a position for promotion isn't going anywhere. Why, you ask? The world needs more empowered mothers. Women who are willing to unlearn everything that they've been taught. Women who are courageous enough to feel good and not feel guilty for it. I am living proof that you can feel alive, energized, peaceful, and put yourself on your own damn to-do list and make an even bigger impact in your children's lives and those around you. I want to show you how to think, how to act, how to behave, so you can step into that version of you that has been screaming for your attention. And the best part is, all you have to do is take the next step and invest 2 minutes of your time and book a complimentary call with someone on my team to see if my community and coaching is the right fit for your big vision. The relationships you desire, the money, time, and energy that you know deep down you are capable of creating. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/let's talk. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/let's talk. LETSTALK. And take the next step in the right direction. You are here because you were born to make a difference. Taking a stand for how you feel means you are taking a stand for how your children show up as adults. You've got this. Let's go.